Hey everyone, this is your girl Patrice Grumble, Miss Essie Bookgal 843. Stop talking trash. Yes, it is a Thursday night, but y'all, you know I had to bring you another author. And I know I had to bring you another book, okay? Now, this this is a memory lane, you guys. So, my world of books, you guys know, started at the library. But at working at the library, I became a part of this group called Readers in Motion. We used to call ourselves RIM. And the people that I have met in that group, I have lasting friendships. Okay, you guys? I have met authors, I have met friends. We have seen our kids grow up. I think I saw one who had twins, right? When we were doing this, and this has to be, oh God, almost 20 years ago, man. Her kids are grown. Okay. I'm the only crazy one that went round the mulberry bush again and got a 10-year-old, but I was halfway out the door. But this show is such an honor to have a great friend of mine. So I'm gonna tell y'all, I call him my literary baby daddy. And I know y'all thinking, what the devil? I mean, you guys, when he dropped the books, he dropped the books, okay? The title of his books. I mean, we got Hurricane Love 1 and 2. I mean, we got what was the other one? Water Flows Under Door, first one, 2004. Open Spaces. Ooh, I had like Open Spaces. War Angel and Crossroads 2. Now that book was damaged in the flood. So actually, Avian Place Apartments, y'all owe me a book. I should charge y'all for that. But tonight I have the honor of having a great friend of mine, Keith Kareem Williams. Y'all, let me bring up my literary baby daddy. Y'all just don't know how this feel. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for that beautiful, wonderful intro. Thank you.
Man,
Thank
y'all
you.
talk about, they talk about the hardest working man in showbiz. They ain't got nothing on him, okay? Y'all, this is the true definition of an indie author. Okay? Authors out there, if you want the blueprint of having a history in the literary game, this is the person that you talk to. So let me stop talking so much. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. Um, First, let me start off by thanking you for having me on your show. Thank you for being also the first person in the whole United States to have my books in the public library system. Thank you.
Oh my God, I
I bet
forgot
you didn't
about
know that. I
that.
bet you didn't know that,
About
right?
that.
Thank you. So I
Yes.
remember when you made that happen. I remember how I celebrated with sparkling cider with my kids when they were little. Because, it's difficult as an indie author sometimes because, you're doing everything yourself. You don't have a big marketing machine behind you. So sometimes the money, I'm making money to pay bills, which is success in and of itself because I don't have a regular job. This is what I'm solely relying on. But people's perception is, well, you're not Stephen King. You're not living in a big house. You're not rich. So they don't understand that, yes, I am successful. So all those things were things I celebrated and I showed my kids to say, hey, trust me, daddy's making progress. Just trust the process. Right. So I wanted to thank you for making it happen for me. Thank you
Trust the
so much.
process.
Trust the
Man.
process. Yeah. And so yeah, I've been a full-time author. You met me early on when I had just my first book, Water Flows Under Doors, which I wrote in 2004. But I probably met you around 2009, 2010-ish.
Yeah, yeah,
So we've
because
been
I
friends for a long time, right? long time. And I met you guys at my first Harlem Book Fair. Is where I met Kim, Mina, and the crew who came to New York for the Harlem Book Fair. And they told me that out of all the authors they met, I was the only one that kept my word and joined the group. And so many of you guys, you guys, we've been friends for years now, and that was a blessing. I love you. I love all of y'all. And so, a year after that is when I really said to myself, I'm gonna take a leap. You know, as you know, I was a single dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I took that chance, and I quit my job in 2010, and I never looked back. So the first book was 2004. The second book was 2010, and when I released Open Spaces, I quit and I said, that's it. And that's when you see me turn up and these 20 some odd other books came about because I didn't have a choice. I got to pay these bills. So these books, and I don't have an excuse, right? Where I could say, oh, I'm tired from work. No, no, no. This is the work now. So yeah, that's how I got started. That's how I got
Yeah,
started.
man. It's the dedication with you for me. And you would see him post on Facebook, y'all come get these books. And he have a picture of the table. I'm like, yo, he out there in the cold selling
And
books.
the cold, yeah. I remember a reader asked me once, it was like summertime. He said, you do this all the time? And I said, yeah. They said, what do you do in the winter? I said, wear more clothes. Because I
Here's
can't, I can't not pay my bills. So, and I couldn't really depend on the internet. And I actually love and enjoy not just connecting with readers, connecting with non-readers. People who tell me, I don't really read or haven't read anything since high school when I had to. And to be able to give them my work and turn them into avid readers. I've had so many people say, all right, I'm just going to support you because I respect the hustle, right? And they'll buy one book. And I always tell them, do me a favor. When you go home, I know you're not a reader. Just read the first chapter or two. And those same people come back the following week, look at my table and say, let me get a copy of that, and that.
And that
So,
is how you hooked us. Because when we were on the group, you guys, they would post a chapter and we would go back and respond to it. And I remember something happened and you went ghost, and we were like, "Hey, we keep that, man. Where's the next chapter? Where's the next chapter?" So
yeah,
it is that that drove us to like, okay, exactly what you say. Read chapter one and then come just give it a chance. And
right,
yeah, and
right,
that's how
right.
you.
Because the hardest thing when you're independent, like I said, you don't have a big company or a company behind you investing in you. So you have to do everything yourself. You have to become a business person as well. And it takes a level of determination, stubbornness, hard work to keep improving. And also, you have to really believe in your heart. Like I tell people, don't think because I wasn't in Barnes and Nobles, I'm not one of them ones. I'm one of them ones. You know what I mean? This is not something that I'm doing for a hobby. This is not, I'm going to have one hit and then disappear. No, no, no. I've done this repeatedly because I'm one of them ones. So it takes that type of confidence in yourself to keep going because it doesn't always go well. It's up, it's down, sales are up, sales are down. Sometimes you think you're doing everything to be seen. But I want to tell the authors or the aspiring authors or people aspiring to do anything, even though sometimes the likes may not match, the comments may not match, do it anyway. Promote yourself anyway. People see you. Trust me. They see you. Just keep going. Even if 1,000 people didn't see you, you just need that one person that's going to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You just need that one that turns into a supporter. So keep going. Don't get discouraged because you don't have a million followers. Don't be discouraged and not go on someone's podcast or show because they may only have 5 viewers. It's be everywhere, do everything.
See, if y'all
Hmm.
didn't catch that nugget, I don't know what to tell y'all because it is about showing up for yourself. And I remember when I first started this, you guys, it was not a pretty picture. That was 3 years ago. And
Right.
sometimes I used to dread those Saturdays happening. But now I went from every other Saturday to now every Tuesday and all of these bonus days to the fact that
Hmm.
my daughter's like, you got a show tonight? Yes.
Hmm.
But it's not Tuesday. Don't worry about my dates. You going to bed. What you worried about me for? You know? So
Right.
it's the drive. So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why did you want to become an author?
Great question. Um, I actually wanted to be an engineer early on in my life. Like I was a kid and I was doing calculus and college algebra when I was 14. I went to Brooklyn Tech High School. I was an aerospace engineering major. The college, long story, I won't get into it because it takes forever, but I ended up not going to college for that. I graduated high school early. My mom gave me a year to like just be a kid, just see how you do so good in school. And I really started enjoying being a kid and not have nothing to do. And my mom said, hey. After about a year, she said, hey, buddy, you find a job or you go back to school. You can't just be idling out here. So I said, all right. And when I went to college, I went to City College in Harlem. I was undecided. I was always a good writer though. Like I would win poetry contests, storytelling contests, essay contests. And I never really thought about it as a career, really. I was just something I was good at. And I took a fiction workshop. And this time I had moved out of my mom's house. I'm about 19. I'm working two jobs to pay for college. And I was about to fail this fiction workshop because I was too shy to read. And that's how he graded us. We would have to write and bring in work. And about a month in, I said, nah, you can't fail this. This is not high school where you just go to night school or summer school. You're working, you paid for this class, you'd have to pay for it again. I said, no, 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 I'm not failing. So I went home and I wrote from 2:30 in the afternoon to 2:30 in the morning, 12 hours straight. Brought that into class, read it to the class. And when I read it to the class, I could feel the energy in the room as I read. The parts that were funny, they laughed. The parts that were sad and melancholy, you could feel it. And when I closed my notebook, the whole class took a deep breath, like, wow. And the professor said to me after class, are you paying for school? I said, yeah, I gotta go to work now. He was like, you shouldn't be. And I ended up, dropping out of college. But what I read in that class was actually the early part of my first novel, Water Flows Under Doors. I used to see my other classmates who remembered what I read, and they would always ask me, did you turn that into a book? Did you finish that? And when I couldn't go back to school because I had my son, I got responsibilities, I said, you know what? That doesn't have to stop me from being an author. And I started researching how to be an independent author, how to get my books printed. And I just took my tax return a year after my daughter was born and just bought books. And that's how I started. That's how it started.
Yo, so you just investing in yourself by your time. See, people, you ain't got to buy the new car.
No car, no
Got to buy
furniture,
the
no
new outfit.
rims, no vacation, no rims, no jewelry, no watches.
There you go.
Books. Books.
Books. See, that's what's up. You invested
And
your
myself.
hard work into yourself.
Yes.
Listen, all
Yes.
y'all indie authors, I don't know what y'all ain't doing if y'all ain't got y'all pen and paper trying to grab onto these notes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we have this new book out,
Yes.
Wildflowers and Bullets.
Them
Okay,
bullets.
you gonna have to tell me about these titles. I've always wanted to ask you, where the devil you be getting these titles from?
I can't. I really take pride in my titles. You see, Slow Kiss to the Apocalypse, One of the ones I have one that readers love so much. I had a reader tell me she's going to tattoo it. I was like, no, don't do that. Um, Time doesn't stop for broken clocks. They love that one, right? The prerequisite to perdition. I can't really start working on the story until I decide on the title. I love
Oh,
titles, right? I can't. The idea will be there, but until I get the title right, and I also want it to be something memorable. I don't want to get lost in the flotsam and jetsam of what everybody else is doing, where everything is kind of similar.
thank you.
Just like the words on the pages, I have my own style, and you know it's one of my books when you read the title, because I
Yeah, that's
take my time to get those right. I take my time to get those right. But
I
Wildflowers and Bullets, it actually started off as a short erotic story in an anthology for Julia Press Simmons. She put out an anthology, and it was one of those stories. And I loved it so much. I said, "There's so much I could do with these characters." So I expanded it into the book that you see now, and it's hot. Chapter one. I don't. Matter of fact, the prologue. I don't play around. All the
oh we
readers so
started.
far who've bought it, they're like, "Boy, from page one." I'm like, "From page one."
I haven't read it yet. Okay, I have my copy, and it is somewhere. It is right here behind my. Okay, y'all, it's behind my monitor because I got everything like kicked out at me.
Hmm.
That's his book is one of them. Don't call me. D&D the phone.
Hmm.
Tell your churn what y'all want for dinner because I'm gonna go ahead and have it ordered and delivered.
Hmm.
Don't ask me for nothing. Don't call me for
Mm-mm.
nothing. Babe, you
Mm-mm.
good? I'm about to go and disappear right in front of
Yep.
you. It's
Yep.
that type of books. It's not one where you want to put it down. It's one of those books that it builds and it's like, oh my God, where is he gonna go now? And
Hmm.
love doing some turns on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Love doing some turns.
Yes.
So if you wasn't an author,
Hmm.
what would you be doing?
If I wasn't an author, I would may possibly have gone back to being an engineer. But although I was always good, you know, when you're good at something, but you're not passionate about it, like
Hmm.
math and things like that, because science and mathematics and engineering is very, you either get it right or it's disaster. It's like kind of this one answer, right?
All
I
right.
still love being creative. So if I wasn't an author per se, I think I would have drawn, because I can draw also. A lot of people don't know that. I can really draw. So I might have been a comic book artist, which people discouraged me from when I wanted to do it. Oh, that's a tough business. Yeah, look at all these Marvel movies and superhero movies. Trees, I would have been rich,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
that's another lesson. That's another lesson to you independent authors and anybody that's trying to do anything that may be outside of the norm. Believe in what you're doing. Other people mean well when they warn you about the risk, but that is their fear. Don't let their fear infect you. Keep doing what you want to do. What's for you is for you. That's my advice.
God doggone it. That kills that next question. What would be the best advice you would give to any author? Okay, fine.
Okay,
That
yeah,
part answers
yeah.
that question. But now
Well,
let's go.
I could give you a different turn on that real quick. Also,
Okay.
for other indie authors, another piece of advice I can give you is be well read. Read different genres. Don't just read your favorite author or just read authors in your wheelhouse because you'll start to sound like them on a subconscious level. When you
Okay.
have a diverse literary palette, you'll find that your voice is more unique, and that's important because avid readers read there are readers out here reading 50 books a year and plus. You want them to remember your stories. You see how Treese was able to remember my titles and my stories, that's what you want. You don't want the readers to bunch you up with the rest of the books that are forgettable. You want when they see your name on a cover, they
Mhm.
have to get that because your name is on the cover.
And y'all, that's true. Cause he just inboxed me saying, "Hey, I got a new book coming out. Y'all should see me." Dang, let me look at
Right.
this account. See, and I literally was like, "I'm getting this book," and
Yeah. Thank you.
I think I've had all your books. Maybe about two or three I may have not gotten, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, look at it. And
And the
y'all,
ones you don't have, that's me being a poor job of letting you know that I had a new book out. Because once I tell you, and that feels so good to know that all you have to do is say I have a new book, and you have readers that know your work. They don't care the genre. They, I need to read that. So
yes.
thank you for that. Thank you for
Yes. And so that's why he got the title of My Literary Baby Daddy. That's
that.
exactly how he got that title. Is him and another off the cams. They always have like, oh, my literary baby daddies, and they were like laughing. No, I'm serious. Like, yeah, they got good books.
Yes.
So
Yes.
your covers. Let's bring your book
Yes.
cover up. Your covers
Okay.
are very unique.
Yes.
Are there your visions or you are collaborating with someone else? Like, how do you come up with your covers?
These are my visions now. Like and with the new tools and the image generators and things like that, if you notice, I've gone back and revamped a lot of my covers because I used to have to use stock photos. And as black folks, sometimes there's not a lot of options. And sometimes even some of the ideas that I had, some of my covers were more abstract because I couldn't really build what I wanted that spoke to the story. I used to draw. So I have, an eye for art and so on and so forth. So I also had to learn, this is where I had to become a businessman, where, yeah, I had abstract ideas, but it doesn't fit the story. You're confusing the reader. They don't know what this is, right? It doesn't matter how good what's in the book is. It is true. People will judge a book by its cover first. So the longer I got into the industry, I started to learn like, yeah, the covers have to be more aesthetically pleasing and things that I learned and I studied within different genres, different styles and what was working. So I maintain my uniqueness, but I also pay attention to marketing and what sells. And so I've seen sales increase on certain books that people didn't even know about before, but through changing the cover, now they're interested. And authors, don't be afraid. Like if you put out a book with a specific cover and it's not working, that's the beauty of being an independent author. Change that. If you have typos in a book and a reader points it out, go back into those files, change that, fix that. That's the beauty of being independent. You know what I mean? And you keep changing that cover until you get one that hit. And there you go.
There you go. But please don't get that black lady on the cover that got the gun. I'm so sick and tired of seeing her.
Yeah, because you see what happened was we only had a few black folks on the stock footage sites. So you would get authors with the same two, three models on every single cover. With the
Yes,
new technology and the image generating tools, you don't have an excuse anymore. You're just being lazy.
there you go. So
Right.
remember I told you about those fun questions behind the scenes?
Yes. Yes. There we
All
go.
right. So stars, they said, okay, we finished with power. We already dragged that out. We need
Mhm.
another. We want to focus on a book now, and we want
Right.
to make a book into
Mhm.
a full blown series with
Series.
spinoffs. Which one of
Hmm.
your books would you recommend and why?
I would recommend Cursed Immortals, The Tower of Seven, because I think it's on par with, it's a fantasy series, but it takes place in modern times, right? And I
Okay.
think that series, with all the characters and the spin-offs and the rich history that I've built to go around it, I think it would be as big as Game of Thrones. And I say that with a 100% confidence because I even put together a pitch deck. I have episodes. I'm writing the episodes. I think that one could be some. It really would because it's something different. It's not it's not BMF. It's not Power. It's not The Wire. It's none of that. It's a fantasy series with a diverse cast focused around, but it has people of color
Mhm.
and we know that works because we saw what happened with Black Panther. We know it
Okay.
works. Don't try to tell us it
Okay.
don't work or it doesn't make money, right? So I
Okay.
wanted to tell a different type of story, a different type of fantasy story. And I think that book, if you guys haven't read Kirsty Mortals, The Tower of Seven, or the prequel, Slow Kiss of the Apocalypse, stop playing with me. Go get those books. I'm
How you
telling
gonna
you,
tell the people stop playing with
stop
you?
playing with me. Cause it's cause, it's outside of what,
How you gonna
maybe
tell?
readers know me for like the erotica and the romance and the urban. Those books are incredible. Cause it's a mashup between, it's almost like a comic book story versus fantasy. And it's still, all the elements that you love from our other genres is sexy, is exciting, is fast paced. But I'm world building with that. Get those books.
I don't think I had that one.
You maybe don't. You maybe don't. Yeah. Kirsty
I'm
Mortals,
gonna
The
get that.
Tower of Seven. I I I
Yes.
literally I went to Chicago. A book club flew me out to Chicago and to discuss that book in particular. And I was in shock because two of the ladies in the book club showed up with like full notebooks full of notes about what they loved and what are you gonna do with this character? Where did this? So it shows me that I've created something very rich, and I wasn't even prepared for that. I was like, y'all got deeper into it than me. So that's how I know how successful it would be if people saw it up on the big screen. I 100% believe that. Yes, 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 yes. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Yeah. Mm. Hmm. Okay. So two people to play me, a rapper and an actor. All right. You know what? Who's from Brooklyn that I think could play me? I would like Mano to play me. I don't know if you know who Mano is. You don't. All right. You gotta look up Mano. I would, because I gotta choose a Brooklyn guy, right? So I would choose Mano. And believe it or not, in terms of actors, I think Keaton Thompson could play me. You know who he is, right? Right, the high hater. How you see? Right, he did that song. High hater. He Mano for sure. Because I gotta get a Brooklyn guy, and I don't look like Jay Z, so Mano, right? I don't look like Hov. So no, yeah, I can't choose Hov, so it gotta be Mano, right? And for actors, Keaton Thompson, I think could play me. Keaton Thompson, no, no, Keaton, no. Let me see. All right then. If not Keaton Thompson, right, yeah, yeah, Mano could play me because he got the whole Brooklyn thing, so he got it. He got that Brooklyn swag. And in terms of actors, hmm, that's a good question. That's a good question. I gotta. Hmm. Okay. He could probably pull it off. He could pull it off. He kind of old school, but he. Let me see who could play me. That's a good question. Hmm. I gotta think about that one because I'm trying to think if it'll be young me or older me. Um, either one, either one, either one. Don't do Keita Thompson. All right. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. On all social media platforms, I kept it real simple for y'all. Whether it's Snapchat, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, it's all at Ream After Dark everywhere. So wherever you at, I'm getting into the TikTok now. My son, Dad, you gotta get on TikTok. I'm like, yo, but I don't be doing trends and dances. He said, Dad, people's on there talking about books. Get on TikTok. So now I'm getting on TikTok and I'm getting more into Snapchat. I've been on Instagram and Facebook, and of course on Facebook is Keith Kareem Williams. If you can't message me directly to get books, because you're gonna want those autograph copies when I get this series on either HBO or Stars, you're gonna want that. But if not, you could always go to Amazon and look me up Keith Kareem Williams and my catalog will come up. Yes. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yes. Yes. We go. All right. Hmm. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So, you guys, it's another Thursday night in the book. I cannot go without acknowledging those who lost their lives on September 11th. We love you, the families. You guys have our thoughts and prayers. We thank you for just being understanding. And we love you guys. Have a great night. Remember, there's no such thing as an old book because not every book has been read by you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.